Hello, my lovelies. Today I have another round of Have I Read It? So stay tuned. Hi, hello, welcome. If you're new here, Have I Read It is one of my multiple TBR games that I play in order to help pick my TBR for the upcoming month. And the way this works is I go back and I react to a haul over 3 years ago, and I tell you if I've read the book, if I've read it and kept it, read it and unhauled it, or if I've just unhauled the book, or if I still own it and haven't read it. And of the books that I still own that I haven't read, you get to vote for which book or books I have to read in the upcoming month. So I will pick based on the number of books in that stack. Well, not metaphorical stack. So if I have 0 to 10 books that I own and haven't read, I'll pick the number 1 voted book. If I have 11 to 20, I'll pick the top 2 voted books, and so on and so on. And you're allowed to vote for as many books as you want. So today we're going to be reacting to my book outlet haul June 2019. And I'm concerned because from this thumbnail, there are 4 boxes. One looks like a very large box, and another one looks like a pretty good sized box, and then there's 2 small ones. So I'm concerned about how many books there are, and just fingers crossed that I did as well on this one as I did in the last one. The last one actually worked out surprisingly well. But yeah, I'm nervous. Okay. So I've got my earbuds here. I've got my video pulled up. So let's get started. Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have another book outlet haul for you. So stay tuned. So I have 4 boxes here for you for June. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of books. So let's just get right into it. Let me move some of these boxes out of the way. Okay, we've got paper and more paper. And then I have my receipt here. Okay, so the first thing I have here is a Casey West book, and that is On the Fence. I feel like I just recently unhauled that. Let me double check. Okay, so it looks like I was wrong. And that is a book that I still own and have not read. It's the second book in the Old Town Shops series. And I read the first one and gave it, I think, 4 stars. So let me add this one. Light, summery, contemporary YA romance. This says, for 16-year-old Charlotte Reynolds, aka Charlie, being raised by a single dad and 3 older brothers has its perks. She can outrun, outscore, and outwit every boy she knows, including her longtime neighbor and honorary 4th brother Braden. But when it comes to being a girl, Charlie doesn't know the first thing about anything. So when she starts working at a Chi-Chi boutique to pay off a speeding ticket, she finds herself in a strange new world of makeup, lacy skirts, and bedazzlers. Even stranger, she's spending time with a boy who has never seen her tear it up in a pickup game. To cope with the stress of faking her way through this new reality, Charlie seeks a late-night refuge in her backyard, talking out her problems with Braden by the fence that separates them. But their fence chats can't solve Charlie's biggest problem. She's falling for Braden. Hard. She knows what it means to go for the win, but if spilling her secret means losing him for good, the stakes just got too high. It must have been a different book I recently unhauled. Okay, let me get back to the video. All right, next up. Okay, next up is a book for Xander. This is called Fart Squad by Seamus Pilger. I unhauled that. Next. Next up is another middle grade, but I kind of got this for myself. It's called Emily the Strange, Dark Times, a Novel. I also unhauled that one. I realized that it wasn't the first in the series and I didn't want to bother getting the rest of the series. And so yeah, I unhauled it. Next. Okay, next up is a book that I thought Xander and I could read together. I thought it would be a lot of fun. And this is Troll's Eye View, a book of villainous tales written by Neil Gaiman, Holly Black, Nancy Farmer, Kelly Link, Garth Nix, Jane Yolen, and 10 more. I am not sure about Troll's Eye View because I feel like maybe I unhauled it, but I'm not sure. No, it looks like I still have that one. So let me write that one down. It's a book of villainous tales. It says everyone thinks they know the real story behind the villains in fairy tales, but the villains themselves beg to differ. Okay. All right, we'll get back to the video. Next up. Okay, next up we have A Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios. I don't know. Okay, this is one that I still own and I have not read. So let me write that down. This says, Grace wants out of her house where her stepfather wields fear like a weapon and her mother makes her scrub imaginary dirt off the floors. Out of her California town, too small to contain her big city dreams. Out of her life and into the role of Parisian artist, New York director, anything but scared and alone. Enter Gavin, charming, talented, adored, controlling, dangerous. When Grace and Gavin fall in love, Grace is sure it's too good to be true. She has no idea their relationship will become a prison she's unable to escape. Deeply affecting and unflinchingly honest, this is a story about spiraling into darkness and emerging into the light again. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Bad Romance. Oh, and the same goes for if you want me to read On the Fence, vote for that. If you want me to read Troll's Eye View, vote for that. Sorry if I am off. I am recording this ridiculously late and I should have been asleep hours ago. But I've been like filming all day. So. All right, next up. Okay, next up we have Because You'll Never Meet Me by Leah Thomas. I'm not sure about this one. Okay, this is another one that I own and have not read. This is a first in a series, it says. In an acclaimed literary debut, two boys on opposite ends of the world begin an unlikely friendship that will change their lives forever. Ollie and Moritz are best friends, but they can never meet. Ollie has a life-threatening allergy to electricity, and Moritz's weak heart requires a pacemaker. If they ever did meet, they could both die. Living as recluses from society, the boys develop a fierce bond through letters that become a lifeline during dark times. As Ollie loses his only friend, Liz, to the normalcy of high school, and Moritz deals with the bully set on destroying him. But when Moritz reveals the key to their shared sinister past that began years ago in a mysterious German laboratory, their friendship faces a test neither one of them expected. Narrated in letter form by Ollie and Moritz, two extraordinary new voices, this story of impossible friendship and hope under strange circumstances blends elements of science fiction with coming-of-age themes in a humorous, dark, and ultimately inspiring tale that is completely unforgettable. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Because You'll Never Meet Me. All right, next up. Okay, the last three books in this box is actually a trilogy, and I was able to get the whole trilogy on Book Outlet. And that is The Menagerie by Tui T. Sutherland and Carrie Sutherland. So we have book 1, which is The Menagerie, book 2, which is Dragon on Trial, and book 3, which is Krakens and Lies. Okay, I haven't read any of those. I think I still have them, but let me check. Okay, so I wouldn't have you vote for all 3 of them. You would just vote for the first book in that series, which is The Menagerie. I do still have them. I have not read them, but I will count 3 as far as my total goes, which brings us up to 7. And let's see, I think that was middle grade. This says, Logan Wilde is accidentally drawn into the mysterious, dangerous world of the menagerie, when he discovers a griffin hiding under his bed, and it leads him straight into the weirdest girl in 7th grade, Zoe Kahn. Zoe is panicking. Her family has been guarding the menagerie for centuries. If they don't get the cubs back fast, the whole place will be shut down. To save the Griffin's lives, she's willing to break all the rules, even if it means letting an outsider like Logan help. But the real mystery remains. Is someone trying to sabotage the menagerie? Who let the Griffins out, and why? Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote the menagerie. All right, next up. On to the next box. Okay, on top I have my receipt here, and then we have paper. Okay, so the first thing that I see in this box is actually a box set, but I have to be careful because the box part of it seems to be falling apart. Okay. Okay, yeah, this box is not going to hold up, but it is the Unwanteds collection by Lisa McMahon, and this includes all 7 books in the series. Oh, that hurts. Okay, so I do still own those. I have not read any of them. That adds 7. Oh, that hurt. All right, let me pull up the first book here. Oh man, that one hurt. Okay, so the first one is called The Unwanteds. And this is when Alex finds out he's an unwanted, he expects to die. That is the way of the people of Quill. Each year, all of the 13-year-olds are labeled as wanted, necessary, or unwanted. Wanteds get more schooling and training to join the Quillitary. Necessaries keep the farms running. Unwanteds are set for elimination. It's hard for Alex to leave behind his twin, Aaron, a wanted, but he makes peace with his fate until he discovers that instead of a death farm, what awaits him is a magical place called Arteme. There, Alex and his fellow unwanteds are encouraged to cultivate their creative abilities and use them magically. Everything Alex has ever known changes before his eyes, and it's a wondrous transformation. But it's a rare, unique occurrence for twins to be divided between wanted and unwanted. And as Alex and Aaron's bond stretches across their separation, a threat arises for the survival of Artem that will pit brother against brother in an ultimate magical battle. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote The Unwanteds. I really hope there's not more box sets that I haven't read. We are not even a third of the way through this video, and I'm already up to 14. So I've already got to read at least the top 2 voted books. Next. Okay, next in this box are the first 2 books in a trilogy. We have Forget Tomorrow by Pentip Dunn, and book 2 is Remember Yesterday. Okay, I have not read those, but I don't know if I still have them or not. Okay, I haven't read either of those. I do still own them. So we're at 16 now. Forget Tomorrow is book 1. So if you want me to read this, vote Forget Tomorrow. This says, imagine a world where your destiny has already been decided by your future self. It's Callie's 17th birthday, and like everyone else, she's eagerly awaiting her vision, a memory sent back in time to sculpt each citizen into the person they're meant to be, a world-class swimmer, a renowned scientist, or in Callie's case, a criminal. In her vision, she sees herself murdering her gifted younger sister. Before she can process what it means, Callie is arrested and placed in prison. The only person who can help her is her childhood crush, Logan, a boy she hasn't spoken to in 5 years. Logan breaks her free, but can she trust him? He's almost the same boy she remembers, but now he's a whole lot hotter, and he's got his own past to deal with. Callie's falling for him fast, but she soon learns he has secrets of his own, secrets that mean they can never be together. Now Callie's on the run, not only from the government, but also from her fate. If she wants any hope of a future with Logan, she must first find a way to protect her sister from the biggest threat of all, herself. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote Forget Tomorrow. I am very concerned. Next. Okay, so the last two books in this box are the first two books in another series, and that is The Lady of the Rivers by Philippa Gregory and The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I haven't read them. I can't remember if I've kept them or if I unhauled them. I feel like I still own them, but I have to check. Okay, it looks like I do still own this. How many are we at? So that makes 18 already. Okay, so book one is The Lady of the Rivers. This says, from a #1 New York Times bestselling author, Philippa Gregory, a TV tie-in edition of The Lady of Rivers, adapted for the Starz drama series, The White Queen, premiering blah, blah, blah. A story rich in passion and legend, The Lady of the Rivers is the story of Jacquetta, Duchess of Bedford, a woman who navigated a treacherous path through the battle lines in the Wars of the Roses. When Jacquetta is married to the Duke of Bedford, English regent of France, he introduces her to a mysterious world of learning and alchemy. Her only friend in the great household is the Duke's squire, Richard Woodville, who is at her side when the Duke's death leaves her a wealthy young widow. The two become lovers and marry in secret, returning to England to serve at the court of the young King Henry VI, where Jacquetta becomes a close and loyal friend to his new queen. The Woodvilles soon achieve a place at the very heart of the Lancaster court through Jacquetta, though Jacquetta can sense the growing threat from the people of England and the danger of their royal York rivals. As Jacquetta fights for her king and her queen, she can see an extraordinary and unexpected future for her daughter Elizabeth, a change of fortune, the throne of England, and the White Rose of York. Okay, so if you want me to read this, vote The Lady of the Rivers. And I need to write that one down. Okay, next. On to box 3. All right, on top I've got my receipt. And then we've got paper, and paper. Okay, so the first book in this box is actually a signed first edition of War Storm by Victoria Aveyard. Okay, so I have read and unhauled War Storm. Next. Okay, next up is Obsidio. This is book 3 in the Illuminae files by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I'm pretty sure that I did read Obsidio. I'm certain I did. Let me double check. I know I read the first 2 books, and I'm almost positive I read all of them. Yes, okay. I did read it, and I still own it. Okay, next. Okay, next up is a book that I got because of Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads. She's been reading a lot of Tessa Bailey and been really raving over those books. So I wanted to get a few. I got one in my May haul, and now I have one in my June haul as well. And that is Indecent Exposure. This is book 2 in the Academy series. I have recently unhauled that one. I haven't read it, but I did unhaul it. All right, next. Next up is Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. I do believe I've read Sawkill Girls. I think I unhauled it. Let me double check. Okay, I don't know exactly where that cut off because my SD card filled up, but I have read and unhauled Sawkill Girls. All right, next up. Next up is another book that I totally got because of Chelsea, because this is like, I think, her all-time favorite book possibly, and that is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I have read The Hating Game. I can't remember if I unhauled it or not. Okay, it looks like I do still own it, but I have read it. All right, back to the video. Next up. Okay, so this next book is sort of like a spoof kind of thing, but it's also, I believe, like a cookbook. And okay, so I just recently got Game of Thrones, like that series, and or like I think it's the whole series. It's like 5 books or something like that. Anyway, so I recently got that, and then I saw this on Book Outlet, and I thought this would be fun. It is Game of Scones, All Men Must Dine, a parody. I unhauled that. All right, next. Okay, next up is People Like Us by Dana Malee. I think that's one that I recently unhauled. Let me check. Yes, I did unhaul that one. I haven't read it, but I did unhaul it. All right, next up. Okay, then the last book in this box is Merciless 3: Origins of Evil by Danielle Vega. I have not read The Merciless 3, and I do still own it. I haven't read the first book. If you actually watched the special edition, Have I Read It special edition that I just recently did, like earlier this month, you know that The Merciless is on that shelf. So that's one of my These Books Will Self-Destruct books. So if you want me to read The Merciless, vote for that. So the first book is just called The Merciless. I think they're all pretty much called The Merciless, just 2, 3, 4. Anyway, it says, "Forgive us, Father, for we have sinned. Brooklyn Stevens sits in a pool of her own blood, tied up and gagged. No one outside of these dank basement walls knows she's here. No one can hear her scream. Sophia Flores knows she shouldn't have gotten involved. When she befriended Riley, Grace, and Alexis on her first day of school, she admired them with their perfect hair and their good girl ways. They said they wanted to save Brooklyn. They wanted to help her. Sophia didn't realize they believed Brooklyn was possessed. Now Riley and the girls are performing an exorcism on Brooklyn, but their idea of an exorcism is closer to torture than salvation. All Sophia wants is to get out of this house, but there's no way out. Sophia can't go against the other girls unless she wants to be next." In this chilling debut, Danielle Vega delivers blood-curdling suspense and terror on every page. By the shockingly twisted end, readers will be faced with the most haunting question of all. Is there evil in all of us? So, yeah, if you want me to read this, vote The Merciless. That puts us at 19. I've already got to read the top 2. I'm getting very close to having to read the top 3. All right, next up. And now on to the last box. Got my receipt here on top. And just so you know, even though this is a big box, there's actually very little in it. So we've got paper, more paper, more paper, and more paper. Like half the box was paper. Okay, so in this box I actually have 1 box set and 1 other book. So let's do the other book first. So that is He Said, She Said by Erin Kelly. I don't know about that one. I'm so scared about what that box set's gonna be. Let me look this one up. Okay, He Said, She Said is one that I still own that I have not read. So I'm at 20. And there's still a box set. I'm scared. I don't want to click it. I don't want to see what comes next. Ah! Oh, I forgot to tell you about that one. I'm so concerned about what's about to happen. Oh, okay. Let's see. All right. He Said, She Said. In the summer of 1999, Kit and Laura travel to a festival in Cornwall to see a total eclipse of the sun. Kit is an eclipse chaser. Laura has never seen one before. Young and in love, they are certain this will be the first of many they'll share. But in the hushed moments after the shadow passes, Laura interrupts a man and a woman. She knows what she saw. She knows that she saw something terrible. The man denies it. It's her word against his. The victim seems grateful. Months later, she turns up on the doorstep like a lonely stray. But as her gratitude takes a twisted turn, Laura begins to wonder, did she trust the wrong person? 15 years later, Kit and Laura are living under assumed names and completely off the digital grid. No Facebook, only rudimentary cell phones, not in any directories. But as the truth catches up to them, they realize they can no longer keep the past in the past. So if you want me to read this, vote he said, she said. And now we got to see what this box set is. All right, next up. And then the box set. Oh, I'm so excited about this box set. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Oh, it's heavy. I've got the complete hardback edition or collection of the Wizard of Oz books. I haven't read all 5 of those. I haven't even read all of the first one. So that puts me at 25. Okay. So if you want me to read the first book, I think it has the first. Actually, let me check. Actually, let me go look at the book. Hold on. Okay, actually, I did read the full first book. That's not really going to matter, but I haven't read the second book, which is... So the first book is The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, The Marvelous Land of Oz, and Ozma of Oz. If y'all didn't know, The Wizard of Oz is actually a series. The Wizard of Oz is just actually the first book in that series. It's the Oz series. So book 2 has, or volume 2 has Dorothy and the Wizard in Oz, The Road to Oz, and the Emerald City of Oz. So if you want me to read the second book in this, or the second volume, just vote Oz. So we're at 24 that I have not read. So I do have to read the top 3 books from this one. At least my last one went well because I only had to read the number 1 voted book. But in this one, I'm going to have to read the top 3 books. There's a lot here. Like I was worried, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. Okay, so comment down below which book or books you want me to read. You can vote for as many books as you like. And I'll tally them up when it gets time for me to film my Cards Against My TBR and all that stuff. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!